Hi class, how are you today? Well, I guess that's okay. The learning target for today is to write the equation of a line given a point and a line that is parallel or perpendicular. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a point and I'm going to give you the equation of another line that's either parallel or perpendicular, and using the slope of that line, you're going to find out what the line that goes through the point is. Let's get started. Alright, first we're going to talk about what parallel and perpendicular lines are. Parallel lines never intersect. They go in the same direction forever, and they never touch each other. Now, the main thing we're looking at in this section is the slopes. The slopes of parallel lines are equal. They're the same. So let's say I have the slope of a line. And the slope of that line is 7. The slope of a line parallel to that, which I'll just call MP, is also 7. So if the slope of a line is 7, the slope of a line parallel to that is also 7. Perpendicular lines are a little bit more confusing. Perpendicular lines, they intersect, but they intersect at a 90-degree angle, also known as a right angle. Their slopes are the negative reciprocal of each other. So what that means is if I have a slope, let's say 7 again, the slope of the line perpendicular to that well, 7 as a fraction is 7 over 1, right? So we want to do the negative reciprocal. So what that means is 7 was positive, so we make it negative. If it was negative, we would make it positive again. We just change the sign, and then we flip the fraction. So 7 over 1 will become 1 over 7. So the reciprocal of 7 is negative 1 over 7. So if the slope was 7, we flip it and change the sign to make it negative 1 over 7. Alright, so here's our first example. We want to write the equation of a line that passes through the point 5, negative 7 and is parallel to 3x plus 5y equals 15. So the first thing we have to do is write this equation in slope-intercept form. So first, we're going to subtract 3x from both sides, which will give us 5y equals negative 3x plus 15. Then we divide everything by 5. And that'll give us y equals negative 3/5 x plus 3. So Now we look at the slope of this line, negative 3/5. Since it's parallel, the slope of our line is going to be exactly the same as the slope of that line, negative 3/5. So now we want to write our line in slope-intercept form. Y equals mx plus b. So y equals negative 3/5 x plus b. Now, this is where we've done this stuff before. We take this point and we plug it into this equation. So that's going to give us negative 7 equals negative 3/5 times 5 plus b. Now we multiply that out, gives us negative 7 equals negative 3, because these two 5s just cancel each other out, plus b. Now to solve for b, we just add 3 to both sides, and that gives us b equals negative 4. So if b equals negative 4, we write it back into the equation. Y equals, our slope is negative 3/5, x minus 4. So the steps were, take the equation that our line is parallel to, turn it into slope-intercept form, take its slope, it's the same because it's parallel, plug that slope into slope-intercept form, plug the points in, and solve for b, and then write the equation. Alright, now we're dealing with a line that passes through negative 4, 6, and is perpendicular to y equals negative 2/3 x plus 5. So, first, it's already in slope-intercept form for us. So we just have to take this slope and say our slope, m, equals, now remember, it's perpendicular. That means we change the sign, so the negative becomes a positive, and then we take the reciprocal of it. 2 over 3, you flip that. That becomes 3 over 2. So change the sign and then flip the fraction. Now we want to write it in slope-intercept form. Y equals mx plus b. Our slope is 3 over 2. So y equals 3 over 2 x plus b. Now we plug in negative 4, 6. So that'll give us 6 equals 3 over 2 times negative 4 plus b. So 3 over 2 times negative 4, that's going to be negative 6 plus b. So then we add 6 to both sides, and that'll give us b equals 12. So we plug that into our final equation. Y equals the slope, 3 over 2, x plus the y-intercept b, which is 12. So in this case, it was already in slope-intercept form. We take the slope, change the sign, and flip it. Plug the slope into slope-intercept form. Plug the points into slope-intercept form. And then do it out, solve for b, and then plug m and b back into the equation. Alright, that's it for the lesson. Now time for the sponge. Alright, so here's the sponge activity. Write the equation of the line that passes through the point 2, 3 and is perpendicular to the equation negative 2x plus 4y equals 8. So you'll have to do the same kind of steps. You'll have to change this into slope-intercept form, find the slope, do what you have to do for perpendicular lines, plug it all in, and find the final equation. So your answer to this should be the equation of a line. So y equals something x plus something. Good luck. Remember, you have to do the sponge to get full credit, but if you get it right, you get a bonus point on the next test. And submit your entire notes, including your sponge activity, to eBackpack. Have a good night.